Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Lumpim Vishum. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Tuesday, the 16th of June. India's main opposition demands resignation of Foreign Minister for facilitating visa to former IPL chief. Pakistan wins first international order for its fighter jets at Paris Air Show. And after facing quake damage, Nepal's heritage sites reopen for tourists. And now for all the details. India's main opposition has demanded clarification from the Prime Minister regarding granting a visa to Lalit Modi. The government has been facing criticism after reports emerged that Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj helped the former IPL commissioner, who is facing money laundering charges in India, to get travel documents in the UK.
The Congress party on Tuesday said Prime Minister Narendra Modi should break his silence in the controversy surrounding Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj. Trouble erupted after allegations emerged that Swaraj helped Lalit Modi to obtain British travel documents in July last year. Swaraj defended the move, claiming that she did it on humanitarian grounds for the treatment of Lalit Modi's wife, who was being treated for cancer then. Congress party continued its protest against the Foreign Minister, demanding her resignation. The party also questioned the role of the Prime Minister and the Foreign Minister in the incident.
It is scandalous what has happened. The Prime Minister has to speak about this nexus. There are many questions which it has thrown up. We demand a thorough investigation into this affair, not restricted to the travel document for this humanitarian facade. All those who are involved, and that cannot be done by this government cannot be trusted for that.
The BJP, however, maintained that there was nothing wrong in the action taken by Swaraj.
उन्होंने क्यों नहीं उसको एक्स्ट्रेडाइट कराया, क्यों नहीं काम किया? तो ये जो फिजूल में बहस चल रही है, इसका कहीं ना कहीं पहले तो कानूनी पक्ष समझने की आवश्यकता है, क्योंकि बाहर विदेश जाने का या यात्रा करने का अधिकार हर भारतीय को है, और पासपोर्ट होने का भी. उसमें सिर्फ लीगली जिसको रोका जा सकता है, जिसके खिलाफ कुछ चीज़ें पेंडिंग हो, या कोई एब्सकॉन्डर हो, या उसको फिर एक्स्ट्रेडाइट करवा के आपको लाना पड़ेगा.
Lalit Modi, who was the chief of IPL from 2008 to 2010, is facing a number of charges in India, including money laundering and financial irregularities. His Indian passport was revoked in 2010 after he fled to UK. A Delhi court had last year restored his passport weeks after Britain granted him emergency travel papers. According to reports, Swaraj's daughter was also a part of the legal team that represented Lalit Modi in his passport case in UK.
The Bangladesh Supreme Court on Tuesday upheld the death penalty of war criminal Ali Ehsan Muhammad Mujahid. The court rejected the appeal filed by Mujahid challenging the capital punishment awarded to him by the ICT in 2013. It, however, acquitted Mujahid of an abduction charge and commuted another death penalty for mass murder to life imprisonment. The Jamaat-e-Islami leader was sentenced to death for killing of intellectuals during the country's liberation war. Mujahid, who was also an activist of the student wing of the Jamaat in 1971, was accused of leading the Al-Badr, an auxiliary force of Pakistan. While the prosecution and the civil society of Bangladesh welcomed the Supreme Court verdict, the Jamaat has called for a day's shutdown on Wednesday, demanding the release of Mujahid. Pakistan has secured the first international order for its JF-17 Thunder fighter jets during the ongoing Paris Air Show. The aircraft was jointly developed by Pakistan and China.
Pakistan Air Force on Monday claimed that it has received the first export order for its fighter jets. The Air Force, however, refused to disclose the details of the buyer and the number of jets it has got the order for. It simply restricted in confirming that the buyer was an Asian country and said they are looking forward to more orders in the ongoing Paris Air Show.
We have about a dozen very serious potential customers where We are talking to many more countries, not even today, but for last about 1 year or so, and we are very hopeful, inshallah, that in coming years we will have a concrete progress in that field as well.
Jointly developed by Pakistan and China, the JF-17 is a lightweight multi-role aircraft capable of attaining twice the speed of sound with an operational ceiling of 55,000 feet. One of the main attractions of the JF-17 is its cost, which is likely to be substantially less than the $16 to $18 million cost of a US-made F-16. Pakistan, which made its debut in the Paris Air Show this year, is displaying 3 jets in the exhibition, which will conclude on Sunday.
Restoration of state subject and absolute autonomy can provide solution to the problems of the people of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, nationalist leaders have said. The Himalayan region is under the illegal control of Islamabad for past 6 decades.
Denied basic amenities and rights, Kashmiris are stepping up their demand for complete independence from Pakistan. Locals allege due to the absence of a legitimate democratic structure, there is large-scale corruption in government sector. Even the electoral process in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir is manipulated. Nationalist leaders from across the globe say complete freedom is the only solution towards maintaining peace in the remote region.
So hope to cases start hogi na. The starting point is absolute stringent restoration of state subject or local autonomy, logon ke saath dialogue and like reconciliation or freedom of movement.
Pakistan has consistently denied the locals their political rights and every element of the very self-determination, say Kashmiri expats.
अगर हमारा स्टेट सब्जेक्ट और लेंट ऑफिसर पाकिस्तान ना उधर रखे, हमारा स्टेट सब्जेक्ट स्ट्रांग हो, तो जो उसने डेमोग्राफिक चेंजेस किए हैं गिलगित बल्तिस्तान में या आज़ाद कश्मीर में हो रही हैं या पॉसिबल है या जो शरणार्थी भी हो हिंदुस्तान की, ये लोग फिर जो है ना दे कांट बी प्लेयर, दीज आर नॉन स्टेट एक्टर्स, नॉन स्टेट प्लेयर, सो ये प्लेयर जो है ना वहाँ पे वो फ्लरिश और पनप नहीं पा सकते ना.
A part of the erstwhile princely state of India's Jammu and Kashmir, the region is now maintained as a colony by Islamabad. Ali said India's role in helping Kashmiris attain their freedom from Pakistan was required.
We are very small people in a very big game, and in that region the big brother, big player is India. It is not Pakistan. And without Indian investment, without Indian will, without Indian diplomacy, without Indian effort, उस region में peace नहीं हो सकता.
The absence of meaningful and effective democratic institutions in Pakistani Kashmir have pushed widespread political unrest there.
A common market along the India-Bangladesh border is coming handy for most of the residents. The market, which was thrown open recently, is not only fulfilling the basic necessities but also preventing smuggling and enhancing people-to-people contact.
Despite incessant rains, locals along the India-Bangladesh border are not deterring from making the best of the latest initiative. The number of buyers flocking the border market is seeing a surge by the day, ever since it was thrown open to both sides last week. The market put up along the Kamla Sagar Lake in India's northeastern Tripura borders, Bangladesh's Brahmanbaria district. The initiative to boost ties is likely to help legitimize trade between the neighbors and prevent smuggling.
This is legitimizing trade between the two countries for the locally produced products. Where there is a local demand. Now we see earlier there is a lot of smuggling used to happen across the border. Now there is no need for them because there are no taxes here. Whatever is the price sold in India, same price people from Bangladesh can purchase.
25 vendors from both sides within 3-mile radius of the border market are able to sell their products ranging from vegetables, fruits, utensils to garments and plastic items. No taxes are imposed on the goods and currencies of both the countries are accepted. Vendors are hopeful to make most of the opportunity and do brisk business too.
আগে যেটা হয়তো এটা অবৈধভাবে হইতো, এখন যেটা হবে এটা দুনো দেশের স্বার্থে বৈধভাবে হবে. আমি কাঁচা মাল নিয়ে বসছি, ভালো হবে ইনশাআল্লাহ.
More than 1,000 buyers have so far enrolled their names in the venture, which aims to enhance people-to-people contact. The border market is a part of several joint steps undertaken by both the sides during Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Bangladesh early this month, which saw the two countries inking a number of agreements.
Afghan government and the Taliban held unofficial peace talks in Norway, reports have claimed. According to sources, the dialogue held on Monday in capital Oslo is a part of the long-term Afghan peace initiative sponsored by Norway. Seen as a landmark step, the Afghan government is said to have sent lawmaker Shukriya Barakzai and other peacekeepers to participate in the conclave. Both the sides reportedly exchanged views on the current situation in Afghanistan. The country has witnessed a surge in violence ever since Taliban insurgents announced its spring-summer offensive. In the wake of the intensifying violence, the Ashraf Ghani government held informal talks with Taliban representatives in the presence of UN officials in Doha last month. The meet, however, could not break any deadlock even as Taliban militants continued to step up their offensive. Nepal is overcoming the harsh memories of the April's earthquake. Limping back to normalcy, it has reopened the gates of many of its heritage sites for public. The Himalayan nation now aims at reviving its lost tourism sector, its main income generator.
Nepal's tourism ministry on Monday officially reopened hundreds of monuments at the various heritage sites, less than 2 months after the massive earthquake hit the nation. Authorities assured that all safety arrangements have been put in place in areas which are still in precarious condition. Several foreign visitors also attended the ceremony to mark the opening of the Bhaktapur temple, located around 12 miles east of capital Kathmandu. Artists from different countries who took part in the cultural show said they will support Nepal through their art.
ミュージシャンとして日本にネパールの思いをネパールに遊びに来てくれとたくさん宣伝しようと思ってます。
Many also lauded the spirit exhibited by the locals despite losing their family members and homes in the aftermath of the quake.
And they've been following the challenges the country has faced since the earthquake. But many people around the world will be delighted to see the recovery and the resilience of the Nepalese people.
At least 743 monuments in Nepal, including temples, monasteries and ancient palaces, enlisted as heritage sites by the UNESCO, were damaged during the April 25th earthquake and its massive aftershocks that killed over 8,700 people. Officials at the country's Department of Archaeology estimated that $117 million will be required to rebuild the damaged monuments, and reconstruction might take as long as 5 years.
SAARC countries including India, Bangladesh, Bhutan and Nepal have sealed a motor vehicle agreement to allow seamless movement of people and goods across the border. The pact will boost the economy of the entire region.
The neighboring countries on Monday inked the deal to regulate passenger, personnel and cargo vehicular traffic in the region. As per the agreement, the 4 countries will carry out a 6-month work plan from July for the implementation of the pact. The staged implementation of the historic deal would begin in October and would enable trucks and trailers with the containers and passenger vehicles to ply in the territory of other contracting parties. The agreement was proposed during the SAARC summit last year in order to strengthen regional cooperation. The motor vehicle agreement will not only reduce transport costs but also foster development of multimodal transport and transit facilities, enabling increased connectivity and promotion of greater trade between the 4 participating countries. India is also said to have agreed on signing a motor vehicle pact with Myanmar and Thailand on similar lines to access the larger ASEAN market.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude the top stories once again. India's main opposition demands resignation of Foreign Minister for facilitating visa to former IPL chief. Pakistan wins first international order for its fighter jets at Paris Air Show. And after facing quake damage, Nepal's heritage sites reopened for tourists. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.